In this video, I want to talk about the upcoming NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5090 graphics card, as well as other RTX 50 series GPUs. I see way too many people overhyped by claims that the RTX 5090 will more than double the performance versus the RTX 4090. If you think this means that you will see over double the FPS in games, then I hate to break it to you, that is not happening. However, there will be certain workloads which will see a massive performance uplift. To understand how NVIDIA plans to get to that level of performance, we need to take a look at what kind of improvements the company is focusing on during the RTX 50 series development. Among those are better ray tracing and path tracing performance. This is much needed because even the best PCs equipped with the RTX 4090 are struggling to run modern games at 60+ FPS at 4K resolution with ray tracing enabled. Actually, this is one of the workloads where I expect to see the RTX 5090 to more than double the performance over the RTX 4090. Additionally, NVIDIA continues working on advanced denoising technology to improve image quality and performance. This is important for real-time rendering of ray-traced and path-traced scenes in games. The RTX 5090 will also feature the latest PCIe 5 interface, which will see wider adoption across all PC components over the next few years. Now let's talk about the RTX 50 series rasterization performance in games and how NVIDIA aims to improve it versus the current generation of GeForce RTX 40 series graphics cards. Some sources suggest that the RTX 5090 is projected to bring a 2 to 2.5 times better performance versus the RTX 4090. Before you get too excited, they are not talking about the performance in games. I would like to remind you that the community went through the same misunderstanding when we were discussing the RTX 4090 leaks before it launched. Sources were saying that the RTX 4090 will be 2 to 3 times faster than the RTX 3090, and we all know how that turned out to be not true when it comes to performance in games. The RTX 4090 ended up delivering around 70% uplift in gaming performance. That is impressive, but 1.7 times is not even close to the promised 2 to 3 times figure. However, if you take a look at the theoretical FP16 and FP32 performance, then you will notice that the RTX 3090 delivers close to 36 teraflops and the RTX 4090 delivers 83 teraflops. That is a 2.3 times increase. Now this does sound more like leaked projections shared by the sources who were saying that the RTX 4090 will bring 2 to 3 times performance uplift. The same logic applies to the information shared about the RTX 5090. It is very much possible that we will see the RTX 5090 deliver between 160 and 220 teraflops of FP16 and FP32. But when it comes to performance in games, you should expect a much lower uplift. Looking at the very few specifications we know about the RTX 5090 so far, I expect the performance increase to be 40 to 60% at best. The RTX 4090 managed to get a massive performance uplift as a result of NVIDIA moving its chip production from Samsung 8nm process to the much more advanced TSMC 5nm. According to the latest leaks, the RTX 50 series will be manufactured on TSMC 3nm, which offers only 10 to 15% performance uplift at the same power. Even to reach a 40 to 60% FPS uplift in games with the RTX 5090, NVIDIA has to make a lot of improvements in other areas of the graphics card design. There are several levers NVIDIA can pull to achieve this: architectural improvements, faster memory, increasing the number of CUDA and RT cores, higher core clock frequency, and higher power consumption. Let's start with the memory. Faster memory helps improve performance in games. The major memory chip makers, Samsung and Micron, have officially announced that they are on track to deliver the next generation GDDR7 memory modules in 2024, just in time for the next generation of graphics cards. Samsung plans to deliver speeds up to 36 gigabits per second. For comparison, the RTX 4090 uses 21 gigabit per second GDDR6X memory produced by Micron, so moving to the 36 gigabit per second memory can result in a substantial GPU performance leap. Although it is not clear if Samsung plans to roll out the 36 gigabit per second modules right away, or if they will be priced well enough for the GPU makers to start using them in 2024 and 2025. Another way to improve performance is to increase the core clock frequency. The latest leak by Red Gaming Tech suggests that NVIDIA aims to boost the core clock frequency to over 3 GHz. In addition to that, NVIDIA is rumored to be working on a massive overhaul to its GPU microarchitecture. Also, let's not forget that increasing the number of CUDA and RT cores is an option. In theory, TSMC 3nm process compared to 5nm NVIDIA currently uses to make the RTX 40 series improves the chip logic density by 1.7 times, which means that you can fit more cores among other things onto each chip. All of these improvements combined in the RTX 5090 have the potential to deliver at least 40% gaming performance uplift over the RTX 4090. If NVIDIA decides to go all in and use some of the best chip yields for the RTX 5090, then it is possible that we will see up to 60 or even 70% performance increase. Unfortunately, I doubt that both NVIDIA and AMD are interested in delivering the best possible products to the consumer market nowadays. Both companies seem to be hyper-focused on the fast-growing AI industry, which means that the best chip yields are increasingly likely to be reserved for the workstation and data center GPUs where profit margins are much higher, compared to what the same chips fetch from selling to regular consumers like you and me. NVIDIA still wants to have the best gaming graphics card because it is the status symbol the company wants to maintain. Having a halo product, such as the RTX 4090, solidifies NVIDIA as the best in the industry, boosting its brand name. That is the main incentive for the company to release a very good 90-class graphics card every generation, or something equivalent that we have seen in the past, such as Titan or 80 Ti class. However, this does not apply to the lower-tier graphics cards like the upcoming RTX 5060 and 5070. I have very little hope that anything will change for better in this segment over the next 2 years. If the AI industry will continue to absorb as many GPUs as they do now, then NVIDIA and AMD will have no incentive to offer good value mainstream products to gamers. They would rather shift as much manufacturing capacity as possible to make GPUs for the AI data centers. As a result, we may see another round of overpriced graphics cards with underwhelming specifications. If you don't believe me, then just have a look at NVIDIA's latest addition to the RTX 40 family, the 16GB version of the RTX 4060 Ti starting at $500. The 4060 Ti is 8% faster than its predecessor, the 3060 Ti, at 1080p and just 5% faster at 1440p. Bear in mind that the 3060 Ti launched with a $400 price tag back in 2020. So, after 2.5 years of development, NVIDIA is actually going backwards in terms of performance per dollar. Oh, and in some games the 4060 Ti actually loses to the 3060 Ti. Pathetic is the only word that comes to my mind when I see this. Now compare this to the performance per dollar the RTX 4090 offers at $1,600 at the very top of the RTX 40 series product stack. Honestly, I am struggling to believe that these two products are part of the same generation of graphics cards. This trend will continue as long as the AI GPUs are in high demand. That is what I think about the future of NVIDIA's gaming graphics cards. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then reward it with a like and subscribe for more if you haven't already. It was I, Vadim. Until next time.